Hey, hey, what the business is, YouTube? Hey, this your boy Clarence over here at Pursuit of Freedom. Pursuit of Freedom, baby. Uh, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all kinds of belated. I know it's been a quick minute since I did a video. This is the first of the year, the first video of the year for me, that is, on the 6th, because I found the chance to get back into the market. I had a delay this morning, or not necessarily a delay. I was ahead of schedule, I'll say. I had a load for a place that was closed on Sunday, but I went ahead and did the driving Sunday, got as close as I could, and then went ahead and parked, right? And when I parked, this gave me some time to chill. I didn't have to deliver till 10:30 this morning, so I told myself I'm going to squeeze in a trade on this Monday, right? Now, there's all sorts of little turmoil going on out there, because the little Iran thing. So let's take a look at the market. The overall market had a dip, but one thing I want to point out about any of these dips so far that I've been seeing, these dips have been getting absolutely gobbled. I mean, I think it was like October. What is that? You know what? Let me come on over here. I'm going to go with Trade King 2. Dang, that's on. They both on the same. Okay, so I'm going to come Trade King 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it by price. Let's look at the Wilshire. The Wilshire 5,000 represents 5,000 stocks, a total market index. I got this from Kunal, Bulls on Wall Street, his mentor, actually. His mentor, Paul. But it's still an incredible index. Look at the volume on that, though. The volume, I don't know. I feel like TC2000 might be wrong on that. 100 shares is all that was bought. That's $33,000 for one share. So that might be right. But anyway, so let's come down to the S&P too. Between the Wilshire and the S&P, that's what I look at. All of the major indexes, they somewhat mimic each other anyway, right? So you're looking at 5-minute charts to the left, intraday daily chart to the right. My secret sauce of 2,400 stocks. I just bring the whole market to me, and I scan stock by stock, chart by chart, until I see something I like that I feel like it might be worthy of trading. I don't want to talk all day on this deck, but up until, I don't know, I might need to do some checking, because I think no, okay, so I got them the same. I was finna say, because this must have been a gap down, and today was a gap down. Obviously a gap down because it opened up lower and pushed down. So we've been kind of sitting around this here, 3250 area for the S&P. But today we had a gap down, and the market did nothing but re-push up, re-push higher. The market has been on a tear, truthfully, since this bottom in October. The stock market is up 13%. If you had $2,800, you could have just bought the S&P and held there. You'd be up 12, almost 13% on your money, right? So the turmoil in Iran, in the Middle East, with the assassination and the murdering of I'm not quite sure who he is. I'm expecting it to have some sort of play on the market, but it hasn't had that yet. So I don't know. But any of these dips, because I trade price action anyway. I try to obey price action anyway, and I'm only going to get better at it as I go. But any of these dips have been bought up. Anytime the market sells off, it's being bought up. The Fed right now is printing money like crazy. So while they're printing, companies are buying up their own stocks, buying up shares. The Fed uses that to buy treasuries and whatnot. But so the market is climbing. And as long as they're on quantitative easing, it's going to be climbing, in my opinion, till we get something big is going to have to turn the market around. But anyway, what I want to talk to you about is the last trade I made of the year, the week of Christmas, NTLX. Oh, that ain't it. Damn, showing now. I just had it up here. In LTX. There it is. All right, so on the 23rd, I made a trade in this NLTX. I see that this thing is on a tear, and I'm really watching breakout levels. This thing had a nice flag pattern type here. Another, somewhat of a flag, at least giving you a level. You know what I'm saying? We can do this various different ways. And it looks like it might be trying to stretch out for another flag. This is the one that I bought, this particular area right here. I seen that about 11:45-ish would be the breakout. And if the stock could get above that, I felt like it would push higher. And I was just scrolling through on that day, trying to find a stop to trade. So now I got to get back. Let me go to a 5-minute chart. Okay. So on my 5-minute chart, I can squeeze back to the 23rd. Right? So the stock had done popped up somewhat. And what kills me is that, in all honesty, the first order, let me see where I got in at, because I don't even remember. But I had took a loss. $81 was the loss. I'm in at 12.56, got out at 12.01 because I seen just an extreme pullback. So let me minimize that again. When it started pulling back in, and what killed me is that, because I had to drive that day, so I had to get back on the road. I had a 30-minute little rest break. I didn't want to extend it and have it, stretch out too long. But I had a chance of getting in much earlier than I did. Like I watched the stock dip down here in this 1205 area, and I had about 10 minutes. I was entering orders, trying to get an order filled, and couldn't get filled, right? But I stopped because I started having doubts. And then the stock started to push higher. So it got up here in this area, and I get in about 12.56. You know what I'm saying? And then it pulls back. I need about a 2-minute chart, but then I got to scroll. Oh, okay. So, right. So, yeah, I did. Okay, that looks better. That looks closer to my 1-minute chart. So it's going sideways in here. I could have got in anywhere in this here area. Actually, I think this is when I eyeballed it right as it crossed 12. You know what I'm saying? And I might be able to even go back into my E-Trade and show you the orders that I canceled, the orders that didn't get filled. But I had a whole 10 minutes here where I hesitated. Didn't get in. Stock popped up. I was in at 12.56. So I watched the stock come up to 12.89 and then pull back. But when it pulled back for this, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I watched the 1-minute chart. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 candles. It pulled back. I watched on the minute chart, it started pulling back. So instead of getting out up here somewhere, which is what I should have did, closer to my stop, or closer to right where I got in, I held a little too long, and I got out at 12.01. And it pissed me off because it bottomed out right around where I got out at. And the stock ended up pushing back higher. I could have got out a little bit higher, right? And then, to what makes matters worse, so I get back on the road. I'm on the road already at 10:08. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the stock like 9:50. I'm in there about 20 minutes. 10:08, I'm back on the road already. And I glanced down at my phone because I got TC2000 on my phone too. So I glanced at my phone right quick, and I see that this darn thing has pushed up some. And it's consolidating. The area where I got out at was the absolute bottom for that day. How long have I been yapping? Probably long already. Right at 10 minutes, right? So I watched for a little bit and see that, dang, this thing hadn't came up. And right around noon and got to $13. And that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping it to break 13, get up over 13. And this thing did absolutely that. Climbed up above 13. 13.41 was the high on the day, and it has been fading ever since it touched that high. Now, what took me so long to get out was right. I seen these candles start to fall. You know what I'm saying? And as it was coming down, I said, you know what? Let me pull up some news right quick. Instead of getting out at the high, just getting out, I wanted to pull up some news. So this Neo-Lucan Therapeutics Incorporated. This is the 23rd, up 19% after shareholder ups ownership. Now, 10:05, I was already out the stock. I completely missed that. But this is what I read. You know what I'm saying? This terrifies me. They announced closing of public offering, full exercise of underwriters' options to purchase additional shares. So whenever I see anything like that, here was the one that I clicked on during that time. I looked at that one, and that's 8 million shares of its common stock. They did a public offering at $8.40. So this is on the 18th. And anytime stocks do that, companies do that, they're diluting the stock. And dilution of the stock typically causes the stock to struggle or to just truthfully fall off the map. Short sellers will read that information and they'll jump in and they'll sell, adding to this 8 million shares that are already going to sell off. Because whoever purchased these public offerings, so whoever purchased this 8 million, basically 9 million shares, they ain't gonna do nothing but sell them at $8.40 per share. So they finna, 8 times 8, they finna turn their 8, whatever they pay for them, into like $64 million, something of that sort, maybe even more, whatever, right? So they finna sell it for a chunky amount of money. So that spooked me. I look back at the stock. I see that this thing is pulling back, and it finally based out a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and get out because I felt like it was just gonna continue to drop. Looking at it today in hindsight, though, that was the peak. That was the day. That was the day that I could have locked in a smidgen bit of gains, being that I got in late. But I would have to be able to sit in front of the market all day, and I wasn't able to do that because I had to get back on the road. And actually, right about now, it is looking like it might want to set up for a slight push higher. It closed at what? 11:30, 11:23. That's where it's at now. So if it pushes up a little bit, at least just back to where that high is, you know what I'm saying? You can get about a good 19-20% profits, depending on if it was to even do that. Then I don't know. But then, so today I had a chance to get into the market. I'm scrolling through, and me, all I really do, if I didn't take a good look at stocks Sunday evening, I just kind of chilled out and watched movies. But if I don't look at stocks, I just scroll through looking for. Right now, I'm looking for rounding. I'm looking for bottomed out stocks that might have found support, that might be rounding and trying to get upward bound, right? Give me that nice round bottom, that nice bubblicious booty, trying to get round and get on up. Like this is based out here, and then you get this upward bound, and this thing jumped out the gym, 136%. But I don't know. And you know what? I was watching the Zion Oil and Gas for a second because it's been in the top all day, but I don't know. I had some fear because it's way down here at freaking 20-something, 30 cents. So I ain't want to play with that. That's a little bit too cheap. I used to trade those stocks, but the risk is so high. You have to catch a candle like this. $22 million pour into the stock today. For whatever reason, I don't know, right? Then you got a stock like that's Gerbage. Scrolling through this, TM had a nice breakout on this level right here. From this high, that high, that high, that high. Almost like a flag type pattern where it set a high and this thing kind of slowly just trickled down. Anything above this line right here where this high is resistance, this high is resistance, these highs right here resistance, this high is resistance. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times it came up and it touched this descending resistance. When it finally got above the trend line, you get this enormous candle, get fully tall, standing erect. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. So I'm scrolling through stocks, and I came across, because I see it now, and it's some more. Look at that. It's another one. You see the fall off. This is kind of what I'm looking for. You get a fall off. Leading trend is bearish. Base out for a while, beginning to round. I wanted to climb right back on top of my short-term moving averages, because sometimes you see nice bullish movement after the price action goes from beneath to back above. It's not an absolute science, because it came back above here. Went sideways, and then fell back beneath. But sometimes you can get this type of growth. I wait for another close above it. If it turns around, sell it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this was a fresh IPO stock right here, this LMPX. You know what I'm saying? I see that it's going sideways. I see that it has serious spikeability. This thing opened up down here at $5 and some change. 8 days later, it's up 720%. So when I seen this candle, being that we got support right on top of my 13 EMA, the stock ain't even 50 days old, because we don't have a 50 EMA, 100 or 200 on the board. All we really got is the 9 and the 13 and this 4. So this thing here, had a nice close above all 3 of those moving averages. And then on this day, it popped up. By the time I caught the stock is already above $21. Stock was already above $21 by the time I seen it. So it had a nice green candle forming up on the day. I always look at the selling pressure, the selling volume, and the selling volume has been minimal. Look at the amount of shares though on the day. Only 240,000 shares on the day. And on this last blow off top day, you had $155 million pouring to the stock. Nice spiking candle. So, I have no idea what the stock has gone through. I might not start my day tomorrow until after the market opens and I get a look at what this stock does. Start my day a little bit later. All I got to do is drive tomorrow, so I can do it kind of pretty much how I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I got my load already, so I'm driving all day. It don't deliver until tomorrow, Tuesday. It don't deliver till Wednesday. So, I love when I see this here, because you can get, like in that Pacific, whatever there is, that's Pacific. Here somewhere. Did I scroll down too far? Getting sick, can't breathe. Oh no, that's been near the top. Here it is. It's right by. So sometimes you get these cases where a stock will come down, and for some reason it'll reach up and set a new highs. From this bottom here, after how many ever days this is, after 14 straight days of falling off, the stock for the next month climbed 85% off the bottom. This is where the buyers are in control, right? So it came up and set a high, and then it fell off again. But this fall was much longer. But look at this nice U shape, this nice rounding bottom right here. It don't always happen like that. Sometimes it's a perfect V, like this was kind of looking to be, or kind of like this is right here in a way. You get this here falling, even though it's falling from higher, but then it just starts to push back up. Once the buy-in comes back in, that's when you want to buy. When the selling is in, that's when you want to sell. You can profit on either side, right? But this, I don't know, this here is beautiful. So I don't know if LMPX will do that or not, but I see that it has full, humongous, erect jump potential. So I got involved. This was on the neutral, whatever, right? So I took that little bit of loss there. $81 loss on the 23rd. That was the only trade I made that week, right? Oh, before I get into that, man, I tried another one, and it ain't in the top no more, so the stock must have fell off some. There was another stock, CFRX. CFRX was climbing today. And I put that one on there because this damn stock, it wouldn't let me get in. I see it's got a nice break, a gap higher break, which you got to be quick with gappers. I need the hot keys and all of that stuff like Warrior Trader has. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I could get with a broker and set that up. But once it gets above this resistance at 69 cents, this thing is off to the races. Look at the descending selling pressure. Selling pressure falling off. You get a tiny bit of buy-in. You know what I'm saying? That tiny bit of buy-in there, and it matches that previous day's candle, and then boom, explosive buy-in. This thing jumps out the building, and now I can tell you what the name is: Contra Fact Corporation. The name don't even matter. I'm trying to make money. I don't care about the names. I'm caring about these charts and what these charts are doing, what the stock is doing for these dollars. Hold on, let me yapping. All right, so I'm 20-something minutes in. I have to get ready to wrap this up pretty soon. But yeah, so I tried to get in this one first, man. I put in the price. I wanted 2,000 shares at 82 cents. I had to cancel the order because when I got to 82, I was chasing. Now, when I got to 82, I was chasing. And I did not want to chase a stock, especially a stock that was so low priced like that one. It could have proven to be a decent chase because I had the time. I didn't really take off until about today, until like 10:15. But it just is running up. I'm trying to get in this here 70, right at 80 cents. I was trying to get in 79, 80 cents. I wanted in at 80 cents. I had my order in at 80. It pushed up to 82, and it was doing an up and down type thing. Let me go to a 1-minute chart. You know what I'm saying? So it pushed up to 82, and you see it had a little wick there, dipping to 81. Dipped down to 81 again. You know what I'm saying? My order was in for 80. About to win to 81. I might have got filled, but it came right through. It pushed up right through my 80 cents order and punched all the way up here to 82, and I didn't get filled. So I entered the order at 82. You know what I'm saying? And it, once again, it kind of dipped. It dipped down to 81 twice, 2 minutes back to back. So I said, you know what? I canceled that order. I went on ahead and canceled that one. Got it on out of there. You know what I'm saying? That could have turned out to be a decent gain, especially being that, you know what I'm saying, okay, from about 82, but right there. Probably got filled at 82, and then I got out at this top. I could have got 20% of my money. 18 cents would have been 20%. At about $180. But I'm glad I made the decision that I did. And I held out, right? Held back for a quick minute. And ended up getting in this LMPX. My. Now, this thing was playing with 22 for a minute, right? So it first punched up to 22. It came down. I wanted to catch this dip. I missed it down here at the bottom, but as it's punching back up, I'm in. I think I did ended up getting in as it was falling, because my first order was in at 20.94, at 21.94, and like I messed up too. And I'm glad I had messed up because it ended up getting me a better entry. You know what I'm saying? A slightly better entry on my second, because I wanted 125 shares of LMPX. And I entered only 25. So 25 got executed at 21.94. And then I was like, oh shit, I wanted 125. So I entered another order and it took a minute too, but I got my 100 shares filled today at 21.78, right? So that turned out to be, you know what I mean, a good thought, a good trade. Right now it's up 16%. I'm up $455 in one day. $455 in one day. You know what I'm saying? And this thing, honestly, is looking like it may do some more climbing. It may do some more climbing. It has that potential because it got up. A slight gap higher. The gap was only about 1-2% gap. And then from the open, ooh, up 31% total, but after it opened, it pushed up 26%, and I captured 16% of that. I love that. I love that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Uh, so my E trade ready to log out. I'm gonna let it log out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in this LMPX, and money's growing. I mean, right now I'm already at like half a week's pay in this one trade. I'm only expecting things to get better. Some other things I will point out is that the float on this thing is extremely low. This float is almost nothing at 7 million shares. So this thing has explosion potential. I see why this thing ran 720%. It ran up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead on and stop my yibbity yapping right there. So I'm gonna watch this thing tomorrow. I don't know what it's gonna do, but I'm gonna try to lock in some gains. I see that after hours, it punched all the way up to 27. I hope it does that tomorrow. If it gets anywhere near this here $35 area, I may be looking to get out because I don't know what exactly this stock is gonna do. I got hope that it'll push back up there to 44, but that's hope. Then I counter do backflips. Hey, but that's it. That's all I got for you today. This is Pursuit of Freedom. Welcome to 2020. I feel like the market is going to climb for a while. I don't absolutely know, but that's how I'm feeling. This is Pursuit of Freedom.